Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. What a choppy, rough day today was in the market. Wow, it didn't do what I thought it was going to do, that's for sure. But we'll get into that first. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody tonight? Let's find out what this market's actually going to do here because it was a crazy one today. I'm not going to lie. That is how it ended right there. Microsoft was down a little bit. The rest of the Mag 7, most of the market was down. Healthcare was up. That changed around. UNH was up even more to 321, getting out of that basement right there, but coming up to that line. So you may see a little bit of pullback as it gets set up, but that was up. And Johnson & Johnson was up right there and a few other ones, but the market was pulling back. It was running around like crazy. We looked at this SYTA and Edible Gardens just the other day, and both of them were popped up there. So both of them were basically over 100% by the end after hours on that one. So we did have poppers. BLMZ was moving too. We had just recently looked at that. So there were some that were popping up, but the market was a little choppy and rough right there. So here we go. Let's look at the market. And just to let everyone know, we're still going to do all the live shows all the time. And the Discord is just an extra thing. And if you want to see exactly what's popping and get, like I said, extra bonus stuff from Ben and the guys, you can sign up for that. And I saw a few people did appreciate it. And obviously today was a choppy day, but I promise you that we are going to make that Discord. We'll make accounts really, really grow. That's why I'm doing it. So if you're looking to do that, that's what you're going to want to try to do. And obviously you'll hear us talking about a little bit and people mention it as time goes on because it will get wild. And like I said before, I mean, you just can't post anything on X anymore. It's just ridiculous with all the spam and everything else. It's just not even fun. And you guys know I said that, 2 months ago? And now more people are saying it. A lot more people are saying it. You can see. But yeah, it's just been out of control. And it was for the last 2.5, 3 months. It was getting ridiculous. And now it's just to the point where you post anything, it's not fun. It was fun engaging with everybody and people leaving comments. And that's why the show is awesome because Sam signed up. I did see Sam. Thank you. And he said tons of content in there. He was impressed. And yeah, I'm telling you guys, it is a nonstop crazy community. And again, just not Ben and the Godfather and myself now. There's other people, and Sam will tell you there's a lot of knowledgeable people in that community. And I'm telling you, they're turning crazy days over, Sam. Wait until you see what goes on in that community. And I did see you in there. And so yeah, you'll see, and I'm telling you, we're going to be growing accounts big. That was the whole idea of doing it, and no other reason but just take it to the next level. Our 1 year anniversary of doing this show, I started on May 31st last year, just out of nowhere. Just started doing a Spaces. Laptop Travel was on the first show. I know Luis Rodriguez was on like one of the first couple shows right there and hasn't left, and a few other people as well. Asian Joe Lee's been around since the very beginning, and there's a bunch of other Scott also. So yeah, there's a bunch of people that have been around for the entire year, and we've constantly, you guys know, I've always say like, let's change it, not change it, but just kind of, tweak it and make it better. And I think going on 1 year, I basically said before, when we hit that 1 year mark, something big will happen. I didn't know what it would be, but this is it. I mean, you could see something was going to happen. I didn't have a clue. I just go with the flow and let, just go with it. It's a positive energy, and I'm still, alive from my brain injury. So just roll with it, and things just take you in the right path. And I just knew something was going to be right. And yeah, doing the Discord with them guys, I think will be the right fit. It is definitely, and there's a ton of content in there, guys. More content than you can even pay attention to, but not in a bad way. It's just incredible. And again, Sam, today was a choppy day. On average, they are crushing that market. Today, you weren't really crushing a whole lot. I'm not going to lie. I was having a tough time looking at it myself. Again, I was waiting for Apple, and that's why I put Apple on watch yesterday. And this is what I was saying: Apple on watch, and we'll go over it real quick. And I explained it was sitting right there, and I wanted to see. And again, tomorrow they could actually roll right off. So that SPY is in a spot where it is weird. It could come down. Look at it. It was pulling back off the top, but they're not pulling back real hard. If they don't dip real hard tomorrow, I would have to imagine that it's going into the top. And they did look like they want to go into the top the other day. And then you hit this little speed bump called the 70 up here at the top, and it did. It just kind of went up there. It was trying to poke its head in there and came down, but that's not bad. That's like a healthy little pullback right there. So, and Deep Soul Diving said he looks forward to joining. Yeah, just click on my onto my link tree or whatever. I'll post it out, and yeah, you can just sign up through there. And the one link tree has all on my one link tree on my X account. If you click on it, it'll say the Discord at the bottom. If you click on that, it'll take you to another link tree that's mine, and it has all the plans because it's easier to go through it, and you can see all the prices and everything. It was easier just to do it that way, to be honest with you. So then you can see if you wanted to just try it for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever you want to do. You can see the different price ranges that you saw at Deep Soul Dive and saw it so perfect and everybody else. So here we go. We won't harp on that. We talked about last night, but yeah, SPY, it is hitting this top right here, and it's in an interesting spot, that's for sure. And it opened at 593. It closed at 592. I mean, right around the same spot. You can see it has that weird look and trying to crawl down, but not necessarily. But it is up there, but it could still pop up with no problem. So we are watching, and this is what I was looking at, obviously, last night. And yeah, it didn't. I thought it was going to try to pull as it came back down the SPY a little bit. And like I was saying, Apple was sitting on that trend line, but I thought the SPY would pull back a little bit and then try to reverse back up or at least curl back up at the end of the day. That wasn't the case today, but that doesn't mean it's out. So obviously, we'll be on at 7 a.m. and looking at things. And I actually been up a little bit earlier, so I'll probably be up and checking it out. So maybe I'll be posting early. I don't know, but again, we'll be checking out things tomorrow morning as always, but I just wanted to go through what I was looking at and what I saw, and it still doesn't look bad. Looks a little bit of healthy pullback right there. So I can't say that it looks terrible, and when it doesn't look terrible, it does pop up there. And happy instead. Congrats on your 1 year, especially with a brain injury. So that's huge. Yeah, definitely. Happy instead said he's post brain injury and doing something like this every day seems impossible to be. Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, it's been the most therapeutic thing and cognitive therapy, more or less. But yeah, definitely. And we'll go through that RLMD and the story trading. Happy instead's in there. The story trading Discord's fire, regardless of what kind of trader you are. Ben and the Godfather at their swing trading or day trades include quick scalps. Highly recommend the Discord. So thank you. And that's what I was saying. I thought it would be a great value. And that's why I was excited to join with them when they asked me. I thought it was great fit. And yeah, and I just thought it would be extra value for you guys. And, that's what I try to do. I try to bring the entertainment and, of course, the value to you guys and see how. And this is where I really think we're going to really see accounts get cruising, guys. So we do the show, we pick them out. But now I think on there, it'll be much easier to really just dive into certain ones, crush them as a group and as a community. You can see, I'm telling you, you'll start seeing these days get good. These guys are in there. There's a dude that like trades options 6 figures. I'm telling you, it's like 6-figure days all the time. It's wild. So it's not only Ben and Godfather. Like I said, there's a lot of other people in it that are really knowledgeable. So anyway, we'll get cruising through here. And thanks for signing up and checking it out. And like I said, I wouldn't have told you about it if I didn't think it had value to you guys. So go ahead, just check it out. And any questions, let me know. And here we go. Let's get cruising here because Logic Mark pulled back and it is kind of down a little bit right there. We'll have to see what it wants to do by the end of the week or tomorrow. I don't really like that look right there. So I mean, it's right there, but it's just kind of teetering around. And yeah, it could pop up, but watch it. We'll at the end of the week say to stop looking at it, and then on Tuesday it'll get cruising because Monday is closed for Memorial Day. I'm just making up in a scenario, but I'm just saying it is getting to that point where it's like here's the real candles we're running around. You can see, and when I start getting into candles like this, I go, oh man, this is a little weird. I don't know what's going on. So better better not to play with it unless it really looks set up. I mean, it's still in the basement, hasn't come out, so that's what I'm saying. Let's keep an eye on it tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know about Logic Mark. And good evening, Janica. How are you? And that green lane right here was down a little bit more, and I mean, a little bit is almost 10%. Same with Logic Mark, and this has that crazy look as well, guys. So they both have that weird look. And again, I was never comfortable with this one over a penny. And now you guys can see why I was warning you and saying, it wasn't looking good. Now that 20's coming down for pretty nice. I couldn't even really tell because these lines are all crazy right here, but it is right about there. And it is up there. I mean, this thing's under around a half a cent right there. And so yeah, I'll keep an eye, but it is trying to get down, and I don't know if it's going to be popping up tomorrow either. That GNLN Green Lane Holdings, but I will look at it tomorrow, see. But it does have them weird looks, so I'll take a peek at it, see what's going on. This one pulled back a little bit. QMCO was down, and honestly, it looked like it was a little bit of healthy pullback right there. And that's why I think that these guys still want to run up a little bit. There was that red candle pulling back, but stayed over to 50. For the most part, it did dip under at that 1203 for a briefing, but it came, what is it, 1271, but it stayed right there. And like I said, it did come down to that 1203 right there. And as long as I thought it stayed over that 12, it was up in that channel, and then it bounced back up. It did get up to that 1485 at the beginning of the day. So it is up there, and we'll see. But like I said, I think that looks like a little healthy pullback, and it is giving a hard look. I'm not going to lie about that. And we'll look at RGTI. We can just go through the rest of the quantum ones. I do think that RGTI is really setting up right here. So I do think you could have a little bit of pullback, as you could see with the QMCO today, a little healthy, and still get popping there. So that's what them two look like. And QUBT right here, that quantum computing, almost the same situation, but this was already in the top pulling back. It looks like it's trying to hang out up there, and we have seen them pull out of that top like this and go back up there relatively quick, which is a little bit crazy. You don't see that very often, but we have been seeing that happen. So wouldn't be surprised if these things just turn around. And again, tomorrow is a decent day, so we'll keep an eye on things. And this D wave was flying up, QBTS, and we had looked at it, was still in the top and still had momentum right there. So look at that bad boy, QBTS. And QMCO, we just looked at a little bit of pullback. QTUM is the Defiance ETF. And look at this thing right here. It got up into that channel, and it's still in the top running up. And when you look at that, it tells you that these want to run up a little higher. So that's what tells you that it kind of wants to keep going. And it is a hard look, but if I had to flip a coin and bet on it, I would say it probably wants to go up tomorrow, or at least start curling back up. I do think they want to run up a little higher, and I explained that scenario last night, why it would work and why I think it would do that. And IONQ right here, let's look at that one, because that was up a little bit, pulled back there. It was just kind of bouncing around, hitting that top, but it is trying to get into the top right there. Had that weird look like it was trying to pull back, but a little healthy. That's not a terrible look right there. So we got to keep an eye on these. And like I said, I don't think they look really bad. And that ZSPC was down a little bit more, but I still think yesterday was probably the bottom right here, unless it's dipping down another layer, so level. So let me keep an eye on this thing. That is a newer computer hardware one, and I will look and see what that's doing right there. And how about RCAT right here? That was down a little bit, and still not looking bad though. So a little bit of healthy pullback, and again, still trying to run up there today over to 728, and it's at 678. So not bad right there for these computer hardware and quantum ones. And speaking of RCAT, we'll look at Lion right here. That was pulled back a little bit after the run up yesterday. Little healthy pullback again. They do not look bad at all, and that's why tomorrow is going to be an interesting one for sure. I thought we'd have a better idea today, and look at it, still in the channel, little healthy pullback. I don't think it looks bad, and I thought it would be been able to tell us a little bit better today, but it obviously didn't. And CTNT, the cheetah, will just go through the big cats real quick. And this one's kind of pulling back. We'll see what it wants to do. And good old Jag X right here had recently run up, making a little base right there, but it is curled through, coming down. So you could be dipping some more right there. You could see that one pulling back some. And there you go with the big cats. And we started with QMCO, RGTI, went through computer hardware and all them quantum guys, and then ended up with some big cats right there. So there you go. And here we go. AGMH, this guy is setting up. I saw this one today, and that thing was curling up off that MACD. Look at that curl up right there. You got to love that. It was moving in the after hours a little bit, and it did look pretty good right there. So keep an eye on that. AGMH gets over that 20. It's going to be popping over that 8.5 right there. So that's one you want to keep an eye on right there for tomorrow. AGMH, and this UOKA split and ran up today. I did see this, and we were looking at it and talking about it too, and there it went. It did exactly that, and this thing is a wild one, so you might want to keep an eye on it because it is really curling up there and trying to get running. So we know this one's been a wild one from the get-go. The minute we looked at it, it's been on the list for a while because it just runs around. As you can see, all these big spikes, and it wasn't this high up because it just reverse split today. But we had been following that thing for a little while. And PTPI, this Petros Pharmaceuticals, isn't looking bad. It was up in the after hours right there. I did see this spiking up, and it was kind of set up, not too bad, like I said. And there you go, crawling up a little bit, running up in the after hours. So keep your eye on that one in the morning and see if that wants to continue up. And that is your PTPI. And here we go with DGLY. This one was up a little bit in the after hours as well, and it was just kind of running flat today. It looks like I had a little bit of pullback right there. DGLY. Whoop, I don't know what I'm typing. There we go. And yeah, you can see trying to curl through. It does look like it's going to get through finally, guys. So keep an eye on DGLY right there as well, because that one's not bad. And how about BON, a recent reverse splitter as well yesterday, and it's still running up right here. So you can keep an eye on BON. It's up over that 20, curled up. It did say pull back a little bit. Let's see where it's at. 169 and 220 is it's at 145. It closed that, so it did pull back. We'll have to look at it tomorrow, but I knew it was running up today for BON, and that was a recent reverse splitter. And this MSOS right here, remember I said something crazy is going on with cannabis. This bad boy's getting set up. And you can see it, the other cannabis ones were kind of up. I don't know what's going on. You could see it pulling back, but something's happening here. I'm not exactly sure. Even with that 20, it's going to come down. It might have a little more setup time, but I'll be watching it. You can see canopy growth. We went over that last night, and there you go. It was looking pretty good on that trend line right there, and that one did hop up as well. And let's see Tilray real quick. TLRY. And this one wasn't moving too much. It was just kind of flat. It ran up the other day. But yeah, canopy growth had run up there. And AUST also was up a little bit. And that's at Austin Gold Corp. And this one's looking pretty good. And that was cruising up not too bad right there. AUST. So keep an eye on that. It does look like it's trying to run up a little bit more as well. So might want to look at that one. And how about that True Golf? I forget. I know I was looking at it, but I forget what it was doing. It does pull back. Oh, this one was getting set up really well. That's right. It was trying to get through that MACD, bouncing back a little bit, and that setup's trying to get right there. So I was keeping an eye on True Golf. You can see it pulling back a little bit. I have a feeling you're going to get curled back around right here, just off the setup. It's setting up pretty good, and usually they like to bounce up off of there. So keep an eye on that one right there. And let's see what else is going on with this list with MLGO. This one still pulling back a little bit. It wasn't really hardcore, but it's getting right there, guys. So I would be keeping an eye on this. And it did bounce around 137 to 168. And again, where it closed yesterday, 135, there's your 129. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. They do run up. Yesterday's high was 177. Today's is 166. And it does run around. It is curling up, and we will see what it wants to do. It's one of them big old fish hooks. I could see this thing trying to get moving relatively soon right there with that kind of look. So I will be checking out MLGO, and I did look at it today. I did see it like hopping around right there. FFAI, this one we know loves the month of May. It did kind of pull back right there, but it didn't look bad to me today. So let me see what's going on. It did crawl through. Let me look at FFAI tomorrow. It did run up a little bit, 115 to 120. It's at 113. Curled down, but in that spot where it could easily pull itself up and roll right up right there. So Deep Soul Diving said MLGO will ever be set free. It's getting pretty close, I'm telling you. So that's why I've been extremely patient with these things, and because you just see how they kind of pull back there as you're watching them set up. Holo was up this morning, and that one even pulled back right there. It's still trying to make a big base, but it did pull back. I did notice that one, and like I said, 690 to 839. I don't even know if I noticed it went that high, but that might have been in like the pre-market time. I don't even know if I saw it. Yeah, it had to be sometime. I don't remember seeing it in the eights at any point, but it said it got up to the eights, and it's at 649 right now. It opened at 690, so it did pull back, but it did run up there. So that one's interesting, and it doesn't look bad. Obviously, making a base, but is it going to try to get into the basement and level down right there? And it does look like these Chinese stocks are brewing, Janica. I agree right there. So I have to say that is happening. I would agree. And what is that? NRXS Neuraxis or something. That was a big run up right there. And I would say keep an eye on. It looks like it was pulling back in the after hours. Let's see. Oh yeah, it definitely did. But 330 to 701. That thing was a beast today right there. That was a good one. LRHC right here. La Rosa Holdings. And this one is just kind of hanging out. Like I said, the little healthy pullback, but staying in this channel, at least trying to. And I don't know what I did, but here we go. And it's trying to stay in this channel, a little healthy pullback. So let's see it crawl up and really get cruising right there for LRHC and GRYP right here, Gryphon Digital Marketing. And this is the old Trump family crypto company, and it does look like it's trying to pull back, but you have some great support down there in the 80s. So see if that bad boy does pull back. GRYP. Yeah, it could pull back. That's what it appears that it wants to do. I'll look at it tomorrow, see if it wants to change around. These ones were setting up TMDE. Not looking bad down here. It looks like it's trying to get set up right there. And maybe, like I was saying, these energy ones, I think, do want to move. And this RBNE was starting to move today and looking pretty good right there. Like I was saying, keep an eye on that guy, on that one, that Robin Energy. And that one is trying to get out of the basement and crawling up, hitting that 20 right there. It gets through that into that channel. It will look way better. So it did go up in the after hours. Let's see where it's at right here. And it hit that 20 and came down, and then it opened and closed at the same price. Pretty interesting, huh? So we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. But that one I think is going to get set up, RBNE. So we'll definitely be watching that one. And how about kids right here? Wasn't that down a little bit if I type it in right? It was down a little bit, and it did. I mean, it didn't look too bad. It was coming down. I remember it crawled up the other day. It looked really good. I remember saying that, and then it ran up the next day, but it started to pull back right here. We were looking at it, and it did have that curl up look, and now it's back and onto the 20. So I don't know what the heck it wants to do. It does look like it wants. I would assume it wants to roll off, but I can't promise you because it dropped under that 20, and it could get pushed down right there on KIDZ. So again, a lot of these are a little bit of a hard look tonight. I'm just telling you what I see, and I was actually looking at them, obviously looking at them all day. I always do, and yeah, I was confused. I was like, all right, I gotta stop looking at these things because they're going up, down, choppy. They're trying to set up. Then the next thing you know, they're not. You could have posted any which way like 50 times today. It was crazy. So, and that was for like everything except for the ones that obviously popped, like your NRXS right there. But TAOP we looked at, and this one appears to be setting up. You can see that 20 and 50, and it's trying to crawl up right there. So that is your TAOP. And look at it over to 50. This 20 crawls up right there. That thing's popping for sure. So that's one that definitely be keeping an eye on for that. And this FNW GD or something like that. Yeah, FNGD right here was up a little bit. And again, it is trying to curl up, but it's hitting that 20. I don't know if it's ready yet. I mean, it does look like it's getting close, but I'm just not sure. And it is rolling off there. So yeah, like I'm saying, that dip is definitely coming, guys. I'm telling you right now, you can see it, and you can see it with this. I think you might have one more little dip down right here, and then it's going to set up, and that's when you're going to see the dip. And we'll look at the VIX as well. Why I'm saying it, we'll just pop on it real quick so you guys can see. And here is your futures, and your VIX is right here. It was a little green and a little up today. Let me show you. And yeah, you can see right there it is curling up pretty well, and it was jumping up over to 50, but your 20 still curling down to smack it. So even if it runs up here, what can it get to? That 21 area. It could run up a little bit tomorrow as it's curling up. And but then it looks like it'll be pulling back there. And I don't even know if it's going to run up tomorrow right there. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. But I've been watching this as well just to get a better idea of when they want to change around here. So trying to keep it on all the way around right there to know what's going on, and it's a better way than just looking at the SPY or one thing. Look at the opposites too. So like I said, that looks like a little healthy pullback. The opposite doesn't look like it's ready. So if you look at them two things together, obviously, I don't know if we're going to be perfect on this one, but that's what it looks like tonight. And just giving you an honest look right there, it is a little bit crazy. So I'm not sure they know what it wants to do tomorrow morning, to be honest with you. But that's what FNGD looks like. And like I said, I could see it bouncing down, but it could also start going through. And if it does start going through, you're going to start seeing that dip start happening, because obviously that'll start running up, and the Fang will run down, and the market will run down with it, the SPY and everything else. So just something to keep an eye on. And obviously, if the SPY comes down, you know what's coming down. And this VOR, this is looking pretty good. I know we looked at it yesterday, and it is curling up, and this one looks pretty nice right there. Not V9, it's VOR right there. So yeah, keep an eye on that 17 to 18 and a half. It is at 17, a little higher than it opened, but it definitely is getting set up here. You can see that might have a day or two, but could also get popping off that trend line right there. So keep an eye on VOR and CLBR. That's another one of them Trump Jr. ones. And this one ran up, and it does look like it's pulling back. And I could see this one curling through, coming down right here, but at the same time could roll off. So yeah, they are a very tough look, but look at it. It's kind of in it. It already topped out. We know that, and has a major resistance that it couldn't really get through. But your 20 is still trying to cruise up to it. So does it pull back and then come through? It is. It's a tough look. It has, like, you know what it is? It has too many different scenarios that could happen, and they all could literally happen. And if I look at the chart really fast and I tell you exactly what's going to happen, like I said last night, its probability is probably pretty high. If I start looking at it and guessing around, it probably has a weird look, or it's not telling you something, or it's just a tough one to tell, like these, because they have like three different looks like that jump right out at you, and you can just kind of see, oh, it could do that, it could do this, it could do that. And I don't really like to look at them like that and explain it like that, but I have to tell you what I see. I like it where it's like, hey, this thing's going up, it's going down, it's bouncing off of this, it's doing this, and these are left all over the place. And it was such a choppy day. It was hard to tell anything today. So that's what I was saying. I don't even know if they know what they want to do. And MST right here is that ETF, and I'm not sure. Did they announce what the dividend is? I think Laptop Travel, I know you said something about it, and I totally forget what you even had mentioned to me. And I think you and Luis Rodriguez were talking about it, and I'm just not sure. I just kind of forget. I was doing like 10 different things, but I have to go back and look. But I know they were announcing the dividend pretty soon, like right around this time. So we'll have to see. And I trying to think that Laptop Travel said he was a little disappointed what it would be, but I may be mistaken. So don't quote me on that. I'll have to go and look what Laptop Travel was saying. And I can't even talk, but UNH, we looked at it at the beginning. It was running up, pulling back a little bit, like I said, poking out of that basement right there, and it could easily get hit by the MACD and pop back down. And I think that is a probability. It might not come all the way back down, but just get set back up again to run. So a lot of these have that crazy look, whether it's, UNH wants to pull back or the other ones still want to go up. This one was way down, running up, and you could have that pullback again. As it gets set up, don't get me wrong, it's going to get real bullish. And again, your 20 is right over here, and it's all the way up at 373. I don't think it's trying to jump up that high just yet. So let that come down, scoop it up, and take it up. And that's what it looks like to me at the moment. HCTI, this one ran pretty well yesterday. And again, it's way down here, but it is getting set up to do it again. So we are keeping an eye on that just to see when it gets set up, because that trend line's coming down, and we know they love to pop off there, and it's pretty far down there, under a penny, right? Yep, it's under a penny right now. So we will be keeping an eye on that HCTI. And they just declared, so MST just declared their first dividend, which is 33.5 cents, which was disappointing for us. MST. And there you go. So yeah, I forgot exactly what you said. So thank you, Laptop Travel, for filling that in for me. And yeah, so 33.5 cents on a weekly basis there. So every 3 weeks you'll get over $1, and then you'll get like something over like that. So yeah, like $1.30 something every month. So that is a little disappointing, huh? MST. You need to do better than that. And we were just looking at it, obviously, and there you go. So it is at 22.73. It is brand new. I'm sure MicroStrategy is going to do quite well. It is a leveraged long income, and they did announce their dividend at 33.5 cents. So there you go with that one. Thank you, Laptop Travel, for that info. And ALLR right here. This one is curling up really well. Actually, this one could get right through with that curl up. Yeah, look at that off the 20. It looked like it wanted to anyway. I'd keep an eye on this ALLR right here. That looks pretty good to me for tomorrow. So you might want to look at that one right there. That's not looking bad off that 20 right there and coming up. Just make sure it gets curling up there, but it does look like it wants to continue up to me. And so yeah, we'll look at ALLR in the morning. I'll keep an eye on that. And KTTA, this was running up a little bit today, nothing crazy. We looked at it, but look at that serious hook up right there. So you might want to keep an eye on this KTTA. Oh, it did run more than I thought, 91 to 144. I didn't even notice that. And then it's at 93 right now. So it did run up today. We were looking at it last night, and it is crawling up, and it closed at 93, a little higher than it opened. So that's good. And it is looking pretty good there for KTTA as a good setup. And so there you go with that one. And let's look at MIST. We talked about this last night. It was moving today. It was looking good. And I think it's going to be moving some more tomorrow. If you look at this, and I know we jotted it down last night as a good one, and it was running up. And there you go. Look at that curl. I remember looking at that curl up last night, and it was cruising, and it does look like it's trying to run up a little bit more. So keep an eye on that. It did open at 131 up to 142. It came down to 127, but it closed at that 142. And you could keep your momentum on MIST right there, Milestone Pharmaceuticals. And SRPT is another one we mentioned last night that was looking pretty good today. And that one was up. And this one, I think, tries to get through and keeps running. So keep an eye on SRPT right here, because that does look pretty nice. Serapta or something. I don't even know what it's called, but it is hitting that MACD, and that 20 is all the way up there at like 48. So another one to keep an eye on, see if it has some momentum. SLN was rolling up a little bit there, and that was at Luis Rodriguez one, Silence Therapeutics, and that was still running up into the top and could continue tomorrow into the top with some momentum. So another one to keep an eye on. SLN and SRXH. We looked at this one, and this one's crawling up and looking good. So there was 4 of them that we looked at and thought they looked good last night. I know that because I jotted them down. And they all kind of ran up right there. And again, I was just looking for Apple to try to bounce up, and we will still look at that one. But yeah, this one looks really good. SRXH. So you might want to keep an eye on this. SRX Health Solutions. Not sure what they do, but it is looking pretty good. And they're going to, they're diversifying their treasury strategy with purchase of Ethereum right there the other day. Did we look at this about that? I don't even remember, guys. We look at so many, but let's that one did look pretty good today, so keep an eye on it. SRXH right there. And IXHL, this one was trying to move up again, and it does look like it's curling up. Remember, it ran up right there, and we do like when they run up, come down, and start to curl back up. A little flat right there in the after hours at 23, but it was looking pretty good today. I know that. I didn't notice it pull back right there, not in the major, but I'll look at it tomorrow. Like I said, it looked pretty good today as it was trying to curl up there. And GTI right here was up a penny. And this one we had recently looked at too, and it was trying to run back up. Not sure how much more it's going to run up, but it was up a little bit today. As you can see, 17 to 21, and it's back to 15. So there you go for your GTI and SRPT right there. That was another one. Oh, we already looked at it, right? Yeah, that one we just looked at. I had it down twice right there. CG, I was going to say, didn't we just do that chart? CGTL, but yeah, that was another one we looked at last night. Is that SRPT or whatever it is, and it was cruising up today. And here's your CGTL, and there's that Hong Kong one pulled back yesterday. It looks way better today. So it was just some healthy pullback. And again, that's what you're looking at some of these. And it did run around. That's not the one that I'm looking for. CGTL. That's the one I'm looking for right there. You can see it curling back up. Had some nice pullback there. And then today just started going right back up. So it did pull back yesterday, but that is a nice, you can see like it looked pretty healthy coming off that top, or that the top of the bottom of the basement, whatever, and the top of the basement right there, trying to get out of there. And yeah, it just didn't look like it was going to be crashing down, and now it's moving back up. So that's what I was looking for. And that's what I was looking for on Apple today in the SPY. It just didn't get that bounce back. I was kind of surprised. So we will obviously be looking at all of them. We'll go through them, but first thing in the morning, CXAI right here. This did run up a little bit. Says it pulled back equally too. I don't know. I didn't see that, but 137 and 153. It did close at 130. So yeah, it did close under where it opened right there. But I did see that one cruising up today. As a matter of fact, CXAI and INDO is an energy one, Indo Energy or something, Indonesia Energy. That's what it is. And like I said, it says it rolled up in the after hours. I just cheated, but I was just going to say, like I was saying before, these energy ones are looking good. And there you go, 232 to 303. It's at 272 and looking pretty good for some momentum. So keep an eye on that one. And we did QBTS already because we already went through all them guys. And that SYTA, we looked at this last night, and that thing went up over 100%. Remember, it was getting into the top right there. And we said, look at it for momentum. I said, laptop travel and crew, look at that in the morning and see if it has some momentum right there. I'd say it had some momentum today, 558 to 971. And it still closed at 7. So there you go with SYTA and MRM. This was moving up. We had looked at this before, and that one did pop up today a little bit. And I did notice that one. MRM right here. And you can keep an eye early in the morning. Look at these big spike ups it gets. So it had another one right there off of that 20. And that is MRM. So keep an eye and see if that one wants to get into the top in the morning, guys. And how about Moderna right here? mRNA. We were looking at this. Someone brought it up last night. It wasn't a pretty good spot on that trend line. And that ran up right there. mRNA. And there you go, inside that channel, looking pretty good right there. And Pfizer right here. Let's see. I know Michael Anthony was talking about this one before. And good old Pfizer PFE. And that was up hitting the trend line right there. So that was a good one. And rolling up a little bit. See if we can get through that trend line tomorrow. But that does hit it. and not looking bad to set up on Pfizer. So there you go with that one. And like I said, I know Michael Anthony was talking about Pfizer before, and it did run up right there. PFE, and let's look at that edible. We talked about it was up. We looked at it the other day. As a matter of fact, I think we already went through it. But anyway, let's look at it again. And we looked at it the other day, Edible Garden, if you remember, and it did. It just had that dip down to the line and then popped right up. I don't know what they did today. They launched Kick Sports Nutrition on Amazon, partners with Pure Awana to accelerate brand growth. So there you go at Edible Gardens right there. And it did run up over 100% between today and the after hours right there. And it was on the list the other day. So there you go with that one. And how about Lockheed Martin? I think Trump is announcing some aerospace and defense shield or something tomorrow. And let's see what's going on. Bear put spread offers Smart Rocket Lab. So, we'll have to look at Rocket Lab. That one just recently ran up. But here's Lockheed Martin right here, and this one is trying to get set up. I'm not so sure it's ready to just get cruising. It says it did in the after hours. Let's look at it right here. Oh, that actually does look like it's going to get cruising. Might want to keep an eye on Lockheed Martin right there. And what's that other one that at Northrop Grumman or something? I forget what it is. To be honest, it's Luis Rodriguez always knows NOC. There you go. Look at that. That was a good guess right there. But that one's not looking bad either. NOC. There we go. NOC right there. Northrop Grumman, another aerospace and defense. And I'll run through them real quick. But this one's definitely getting set up too. So might want to keep an eye on them guys. NOC and LMT right there for tomorrow. And let me just see something real quick here. There's Archer. That was just recently ran up. And let's just see if I notice anything crazy. That one has some momentum, but running into the top. So is that one. There's your AVAV. The last time we mentioned this, like I was saying, this was setting up the run, and it is. It looks like it has some good momentum. I think 2 days later, Trump got shot in his ear. I'm not even kidding. You go back and listen to it. And now we were going through the aerospace and defense. I was doing exactly this, running through and pulling some certain ones up. And we were picking them out. And we kept starting with AVAV, or we were looking at it. And this thing was getting super set up. And it was back in July of last year. I don't remember what it was, but it was getting set up or something was happening. And then, like I said, the next thing you know, he got shot. But anyway, here we are, and it does look pretty good. AVAV right there. And let's see, AXON's up there. So a lot of these are already up there and look like they want to try to have some momentum. So interesting to see. Yeah, like that one, DCO, and there's not many that are like really just getting set up right here. It looks like most GPUS. Remember that one recently ran up. And this is another one Luis Rodriguez mentions. Huntington Ignals. I couldn't think of it. HII. This one right here. And that one's already up. And what did that Hoover look like? That one just ran up big today. Now I'm curious. There's 3 pages, so I'll go through it real quick. And yeah, these things are already up there. KY, KY, KY. KW, where the fuck did KY come from? KWE right here. Big pullback right there, but might have to keep an eye on that one. I'll just pick it up and see in a minute. And let's just KY. I don't even know what I'm thinking about. Anyway, PKE. PRZO, what is that doing? Nah, just sitting there. Like I said, none of these are jumping out. There's that Rocket Lab right there, and I'll pull it up. We were looking at it before running up, and yeah, none of these are really jumping out, which is not a bad thing because that means we're probably not under attack at the moment. I just thought with Trump was supposed to announce something, that one looks crazy. I thought maybe they would be setting up to get moving. And I didn't even look at Boeing, wherever that was. I didn't even notice it, but there it is. And Boeing does look like it's running up a little bit higher. Look at this thing. Holy cow, that thing keeps running up there. And let's see, Boeing there. Boom, nothing crazy. So anyway, we'll get back to things, and I'll look at that AVAV. Like I said, that thing looks like it's trying to curl up right there. Keep an eye on that one. And that KWE. and that's in that channel right there. I know it recently ran, it split and ran. That's right. We were looking at it, and it doesn't look terrible, but I'd have to look at it tomorrow. And Rocket Lab just recently ran up, and it has that look like it could be pulling back right there. So RKLB right here. And it has that weird look. It opened and closed right around the same price. So I'd have to look at Rocket Lab tomorrow, almost like everything else, honestly. But we'll try to do our best and figure out what's really setting up here. And there you go, a little LMT, Lockheed Martin, and aerospace defense right there. And so yeah, that's there you go with them bad boys. So like I said, nothing real crazy to be concerned about. So that is a good thing. And here's Goldman Sachs, and these ones had run up, and JP Morgan. That looks like it's pulling back some. Let's see, JPM. Yeah, that one looks like it could get curled back up. What was this one? Citigroup. And that one is just kind of hanging out. So they're all a little different. I remember when they were all set up the exact same, but that is not the case at the moment for Goldman Sachs. That one does look like it could pull back. ACRV right here. Acrivon Therapeutics, and let's see what they're up to. And that thing doesn't look bad, guys. ACRV, that one is looking pretty good, and I could say that one might get a nice little curl up tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. AKBA, I'm not sure what this is. Didn't we look at this the other day? Someone mentioned this thing. I don't really remember it, but I just kind of remember that stock ticker. And it is moving up there. It's in the top, and it might not be a bad one to look at for some momentum tomorrow. That's for sure. So you might want to keep an eye on AKBA and GFAI. Let's see what this Guard Force AI is up to. And that does not look bad right there, I must say. GFAI. Let's see. Here we go. And yeah, it's not looking bad right there, curling up a little slow. What's it running? 111 to 116. It's at 112, but it does not look bad right there for GFAI. You can keep an eye on that one. And AKBA, I think that says. I have no idea. AKBA, I believe. Yeah. And that the one I just looked at? Yeah, I just looked at this one. Holy cow. I must fake myself out and wrote it down twice and like right there. So I guess I jotted it down already and forgot that quick, and that's pretty bad. But that's how my brain works. Anyway, AKBA, I don't think it changed from 2 seconds ago. And I'm saying, look at that thing to run some momentum there. So it does look pretty good, like it wants to run in the top a little bit higher. And there you go with that list. I'll run through the laptop travel list real quick. Our Joe Lee's jams will cruise right through, and then I'll see what you guys are looking at. Like CDT did split today. So we'll see what that looks like real quick. And then, like I said, I'll come back and make sure we get all the messages. And you're right, it did split. And it's sitting right down there. It's down there at the bottom. It's an interesting one. I think you could get moving. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I think CDT might have to go on the list as one of them reverse split looks for tomorrow, day after, because they're running now like that day after ish. And so CDT may fit that bill right there. And let's just take a look at these guys. And I don't even know what the first one even says. I'm going to guess that's what it is. I think, yeah, I think so. If it isn't, I apologize, but I think I wrote AOUT, and if it's not, it's a G. So we'll look at that too. But this one looks like it's pulling back right there. AOUT, and wow, that one did pull back to try to set up. I bet it is this one because that one does have an interesting look right there. I have to look at that one tomorrow. I'm gonna guess it is that. Yeah, because that's not even there. So that's definitely an O. And that one is an interesting look for sure. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out. And this beam, this one looked like it was trying to crawl back up right there. BEEM Beam Global. And look at that thing crawling back up. I think you're going to have one right there. And boom, we had boom and beam right next to each other, and beam and boom. We can make a new song about that. And boom looks like it's going to be booming right there. I don't even know boom was even a stock ticker. If I had known that, I probably would have had to buy it right here because boom looks like it's going to roll. I would say keep an eye on good old BOOM tomorrow as well. And that BTCT, we've had this one before. It ran from like $4 to $30 or something crazy before. I forget what it was. And anyway, this thing is just pulling back, but it is getting set up, guys, along with like crypto. And we'll go through our crypto. That stuff is trying to run up there. Bitcoin's almost at like 107,000, guys. Solana's almost at 168. And Laptop Travel posted an amazing article. I just read it, as a matter of fact. And let me do, I don't even, Laptop Travel, my brain is so bad that I can't even tell you what the thing is about, but it was something extremely interesting. I know that. And hold on, I got to go over here. The Genius Act, that's what it was. Sorry, Laptop Travel. I'm telling you, my brain's the worst. But there's the Genius Act. Look that up. Although I just read Laptop Travel's article right there that he posted out. Really, really good, and it's about crypto surge signals and a massive buying opportunity. But yeah, you got to see about the Genius Act right here, and they had just on May 19th, so that was yesterday. The Senate advanced the Genius Act, and it's a bill to regulate stable coins and passing a key procedural vote with a 66 to 32 margin right there. So I'll let you guys read the rest, but yeah, it's a really, really good article. Like I said, I had to tell Laptop Travel, I was talking to him this weekend and said his articles are incredible. I'm telling you, I read them all the time. They're really, really good. So, and that one, he said, yeah, you got to make sure you read this one. And I read it immediately. And I was like, that's a good article right there. And I didn't even know that was happening. And again, you guys know I don't follow the news much, but it is interesting to know things are happening, especially something like that, because that's something big. So Laptop Travel's been on it with his newsletter right there. I do like it a lot. And anyway, here we go at BTCT, back to Laptop Travel's list. That's how we got there. And BTOG right here, that Bit Origin. This one's trying to set up too, guys. I'm telling you, this thing looks like it's trying to get into that channel again. And with that, if I can write it in beat it with that Pac-Man look, it was looking better earlier. It was curled up, but I still think you get that curl off, guys. So look at BTOG as well. I'm gonna check that out tomorrow. CLGN right here, Col Plant, and that thing has earnings coming up, but just popped up right there and not looking bad. You can take a look at CLGN in the morning and see if that one wants to continue to run. It certainly could. CLPS, it's a good old CLPS Inc. And this one's just kind of bouncing around, not looking bad actually on that 20, trying to get hooked up there. And it didn't, might have pulled back. Let me see. That's not looking bad to me. That thing's probably going to be in that channel tomorrow. So keep an eye on CLPS, CVRX right here. That was one we looked at last night. I wrote it down again at the bottom because I wanted to look at it, but it was already on here. I forgot that quick. Wrote it down 3 seconds later. I forgot that I wrote it down again. But anyway, remember we were talking about this thing running up yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I told you, keep an eye on that one right there. And there you go. That's CVRX. And then I talked about this one here. We'll go through them. I know the bottom ones. MRSN it was. And that was up just a little bit, pulled back, nothing too crazy. But let's see. I bet this one's getting set up too. It was looking good yesterday. Just a little healthy pullback. We'll keep an eye on that MRSN VYGR. That one was down a little bit, but this one's getting set up right here. Keep an eye on that one right there. That VYGR looking good. And ADAP right here. And that one was just kind of bouncing around, just getting set up. So there are four more to keep an eye on. And back to our list, DLTH, and they were from last night's list, and they were looking good. And this DLTH was up a little bit, and that's curling up still. So keep an eye on DLTH right there. That does look healthy. And let's look at Geos right here, GEOS, and that thing looks good. I mean, they're almost every single one on that list right here so far. Laptop Travel looks good, and that GURE right in that channel, not doing anything crazy at the moment, but could get set up with no problem. Small channel, and opened and closed. And look, you could see it curling up there. So GURE's another one not looking bad. JYNT, the Joint Corp right here. And let's see what this joint's doing. It looks like it's curling up, as a matter of fact. And it looks like it's going to be getting fired up, this joint. So keep an eye on that joint. That JYNT is looking pretty good. And Lucid LUCD, Lucid Diagnostics. That one looked good last night. It's still in the channel, not looking bad. And then we also looked at the Lucid group, and it didn't look bad last night. And that one's pulling back up there. So there was your two Lucids right there. PPBT. I can't say that at all. PPBT. Holy cow. Purple Biotech. That's a killer for me. And anyway, that's curled up and looking pretty good, though. And I'll try to say it. PPBT. There we go. And yeah, that's not looking bad for tomorrow to run up some more as well for the Purple Biotech guy. NSTHO right here. Star Holdings hitting some resistance. We'll see if it can get through. It was up today. And let's see what it's up to right there. Yeah, that one looks really good too. Holy cow, Laptop Travel, like every single one on there looks really decent, I must say. TLPH looks like it wants to roll off as well. So that one doesn't look bad. And let's see what else is going on. And then back to them other four that I talked about, ADAP and the other guys. So great list right there. There's Michael Anthony. And Michael Anthony posted last night, I forget which one we were talking about, and he asked me if I went through it or if I heard him, and I said I was just hopping off. I noticed it, but yeah, whatever one it was, I forget right now. I even posted on your YouTube. I had gone over it, actually. I saw your message, and I went over it. I don't know if you stepped away or whatever. You're not paying attention fully, so sometimes you got to get up and do things, and you miss things. But yeah, whatever it was, I forget which one you had asked about, but we did go over it again. And anyway, there's your Laptop Travel list, and I'll tell you what, that's a solid list right there, Laptop Travel. And like I said, check out that newsletter and that article, because that was a really good article on what the heck was it called? Holy cow! That what was it? The Genius Act or something like that. Something I forget already. It's pretty bad. Hold on, it's right. It's right here. Um, I forget. Yeah, Genius Act. I was right. All right, cool. Genius Act. So check that out as well. And here we go at our Jolie's Jams. Agrify is pulling back. It obviously recently ran up. So you are getting that pullback at the moment. And look at it. But it's pulling back. And Blink is trying to set up the roll up there. So we'll be keeping an eye on BLNK and see if it can get moving again. You can see maybe it's just going to be setting up for a while, but that doesn't look bad to try to run up. But it has some good resistance up there, so we'll see what it can do. And Sezzle had been sizzling and sizzling up there, and it's still up at the top. But obviously, be very careful. It's like way up there now. It's crazy. And Sterling, again, trying to move up to that 200. That's been in the top, and it looks like it wants to roll off the MACD and go up tomorrow. So this is what I was looking at and thinking was going to happen towards the end of the day with like the SPY and all, and it didn't really do it. But I have a feeling it's going to try to bounce up tomorrow, and they do want to run up. They just stalled out, I guess, today. I'm not sure what was going on. It was just real choppy. But Sterling's doing it right there. Rivian was moving. We did like it yesterday, and it's keeping that momentum into the top. So keep an eye on that. And here's your good old Symbotic was pulling back a little bit, but just got into the top. And it could have been healthy pullback. We'll take a look at Symbotic, see what it wants to do. And there's your Jolie's Jams. And here we go. Let's see. What was TTD doing right there? That was up, and that one's curling back up into the top, and that was a pick before, and that is rolling back up there, guys. So I would keep an eye on that trade desk. It does look like it's trying to catch some more momentum and run up, and this is exactly why I'm saying about the SPY and all, and I can see them running up. You can see a lot of them still trying to do it. And so we'll be keeping an eye on what that wants to do. And as a matter of fact, we'll just go through our SPY big caps, and then I'll go through the messages in full. And we'll see what else is going on. First, Asian stocks gain. Oil rises on Israel Iran report. I'm not sure what happened on that report, but I'm not sure. But oil rises. So, why the market rally may be running out of steam? I told you it's going to be dipping down. And S&P 500 futures are a little changed at their benchmark snap 6-day with win streak. Snap 6-day win streak. I can't read. Snap 6-day win streak. I was like, with win streak, that didn't even make sense. Trump sours on lifting salt cap, calling it a gift to Democratic governors. I don't even know what they're talking about. And tech stocks fell, snapping U.S. markets winning streak right there. So there's your news, and let's go ahead. We'll go through our spy big cap, see what's going on, and then we will definitely go through all the messages and see what you guys want to see. And again, I'll be doing all the shows at 7 a.m., 9 p.m. every single day. Don't worry about that. Nothing's going to change there. And if you just want to join a little extra something with the Discord, and again, a couple people did sign up. I did see Sam and a few other people in there, so and they all said they actually enjoyed it already. It was their first day, and it was a choppy day, not even much going on. But like I said, Ben, the Godfather, they're posting great stuff in that thing all the time, and obviously it was just I just started on there, but I'll be posting great stuff. And then you have a great community just like we have. They have a great community in that Discord, and it seems to run a little easier than like on X or something. We have a fun thing because we have a show here that we do it on, but they do it all day long and now things left and right. So it is very active. They're swing trading, scalp trading. They're doing a little bit of everything, options, short, and I'm telling you, they're just cranking out that account and making it grow. And that's what it's about. And like I said, I'll be showing you guys how to that we do it as well, so that you guys can we can all do it together, and it's a lot of fun. And it's when you have encouraging when other people around you are also doing it, so you don't feel like, oh, am I making a mistake? Because trust me, you're going to see everybody makes mistakes. It's how you mask your mistakes and really cut them quick. And I say this because I was a chef before, so I always use this analogy. And honestly, I mean, you're really good at something, and just think about your job at what you do. And you're really good at something when you can f it up really bad, and then you can fix it somehow, and nobody even knows that it even happened. Then in the kitchen, you f something up. It's kind of hard to fix, but you can kind of fix everything at some point, unless you like burn it to a crisp. But yeah, you're good when you can fix things, and nobody even had a clue that it was messed up. And that's when you're really good at your job. Generally, you can just do it with it like effortlessly, even if you're in construction, whatever field you're in. And that's another good example, because you make the wrong cuts or do something, and like you can effortlessly just fix it and make it look right without even trying. And so yeah, it's just the way that works out. And so that's what you have to think about. And so you will make mistakes. Nobody's going to be perfect, but it's the way you fix them mistakes and you bounce back off of them. So you'll see. And I think just doing it as a group and a community together. And again, the Discord just makes it way easier. There's not all the spam and nonsense. You can easily scroll through, see everything, a lot of great content, and it makes it fun. So it's actually a fun community in there that's there 20 like all day long. So it's like how X was before it got filled with spam. And unfortunately, they're not fixing it because it just keeps getting worse and worse. So anyway, check it out if you want. The links are on my link tree right there, and then you can ask the other people that joined. Even ask Sam or somebody else. I'll tell you in a second. Mr. Happy instead, he's also on there as well. So yeah, shoot him a quick message if you guys want, and ask him about it and see what they think. They just joined, and I saw Sam in there today, and cruising around and posting a message. And so yeah, good stuff in there. And so you can check it out. But anyway, let's roll through our spy and big caps and see what we're looking at for tomorrow, because it definitely faked me out a little bit today. And I'm honest about things. I can't tell you I'm perfect, but I thought it was going to try to bounce up a little bit, or at least get a little curl. And I can't say that it looks bad, but we're getting into that territory, guys, where if I said this yesterday, I thought if it didn't get into the top, it was going to come down. Well, it came down, but not as much as I thought it would bounce down. So it's holding itself up there, and it appears it wants to still go up into that top area. It still has room. It obviously has plenty of room to get into the top, and it has plenty of room up here to hit them all-time highs again, and obviously factor in what they have to do. I would assume that the market's going to be trying to move up tomorrow. I can't promise you. That's why we'll be on 7 a.m. to look at things, and you guys are doing your thing at 4 a.m., but you're not really paying attention to the SPY and Apple and stuff because they're not really trading at 4 a.m. necessarily. So these other guys are, and they're great to be watching. So that's why we go through them and pick out the ones that are going to be popping and looking good at that time frame. But anyway, yeah, your SPY big caps will be hitting them at 7 a.m. to see how that market opens up. I'm curious. And Apple, obviously, looking at it. And I told you guys what I was looking at, but let's go through it again. It had that trend line right there. It was holding up there yesterday. That's why I was thinking it would hold up there and at least come down a little bit, but try to curl up at the end of the day. Still sitting on that 20, not looking bad. And you have that little curl down, and we'll see. It might pull back a little bit more, but it was looking like it wanted to try to roll back up. And obviously, it's going to be how the market looks tomorrow. And look at that look right there. It was coming up to squeeze them, and it looked perfect yesterday. You could see what I was looking at right there. It looked great. And obviously, you could see a little pullback, but could easily get turned around. This market's been really wild. So, and it again doesn't look bad, almost flattened out. So it could go either way right here. And if it just curls up right there, you know it's popping it up there tomorrow. So that's what you're looking at Apple. And it did pull back a little bit, but obviously I was watching it and seeing what it wanted to do. And there's your breakdown for it. And again, I would think it's going to be a pretty solid one. I think the market will be up. I'll be surprised if it, well, I won't be surprised if it's red in the morning because in the pre-market, because it goes red to green a lot. So, but I would be surprised if it didn't do that. If it doesn't, they're coming down. I mean, I can't imagine them staying up with a pullback day tomorrow. So obviously, that's what we'll be looking at. And Amazon right here, a little bit of pullback, but does not look terrible right there. Even have your 200-day moving average above it. So it does have something, and your 20s coming up right there. And again, these things just don't look bad. They're just in the top area. This one never got into the top, so you got plenty of room where it could roll up and still run up some more. Google had been running up. I don't know. Something happened with Google today. I'm not exactly sure because it has way too much. Look at all that news for Google. Started at 3:06 in the morning. I couldn't even follow all that right there until 8 p.m. But anyway, that's a lot of stuff going on right there for Google. And it is a big company, an important one, but it did pull back a little bit. I did see that today. It was running up before. And here we go with Google. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, just a little healthy pullback, nothing crazy. Your 20s are still holding it up and not looking bad right there. I can't say that they look bad at all. Meta was down. I mean, when it's down 333 and they just run up like crazy and they just pull back, it's more or less healthy. Look at that thing. Hit the top, pull back a little bit, and you can easily get curled up and start cruising right back into the top right there, roll back off, maybe have one more pullback day and then get cruising. But again, I think it should try to start moving. By the end of tomorrow. And look at Microsoft just up here still. I can't even believe it's way up there like that, way in the top. So you obviously have to be careful with it. And Nvidia is still up there hanging out in the top as well. And it looks like it wants to bounce up higher. Usually they want to come down, or come out. They usually come right down. And it's still just chilling out up there, hanging out, waiting to go back up, it looks like. And Tesla was still trying to go up today. And it does have a weird look right there. But again, in top, right out a little bit, and it could easily go right back in there and really get cruising. So they are a crazy look tonight. I'm not going to lie. Crazy look today, choppy day today. But obviously, we just stick with them and see what's going on. AMC was looking good. I forgot about that. I totally forgot. I looked at that and I was like, whoa, AMC kind of turned around. It was set up the other day, and then it was kind of, I guess, a little pullback there. And then, yeah, it looks really good here. So I'd say AMC is getting set up right there, looking pretty good. And what about GameStop? Let's see what that one's doing because that was up today as well. And that one looks like it wants to curl up and roll up. So I can't say that these things look bad at all. And again, if GameStop, AMC, and these things want to run up, I can't think that the SPY and stuff are going to go crashing right down. And these things are set up like this. So it is weird. And the VIX doesn't look like it's exactly ready. So yeah, it just gives you and that's why I've been looking at so many different things to get a better idea because it is really tough at the moment. And how about not that one right there? CJWU is definitely not one, but Chewy is one. And that is still running up to the top. And I think it's going to even hit up here, guys. And I'm surprised with that one's going to get a little bit higher there, Chewy. So, yeah, these things look like they still have a little gas left in them. I can't say that they don't. And that's why like that pullback today I don't think was that bad, and that's why I was expecting it to come up a little bit, but it didn't. They don't always go exactly how you plan, and but I don't think they look too bad, to be completely honest with you. Netflix up a little bit today, and that AVGO went back up. Look at this thing staying in the top. They look like they wanted to come out yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, and they're staying up there. Even MU still pushing up there. So yeah, I cannot say that they look like they're ready to just crash out. TSM looks like it wants to get up into that top right now. So that's what they look like. I mean, look at that. It looks like it wants to roll up there and go up higher. They can go any way, but I do think they want to run these things up and get them all the way up. And again, it makes a lot of sense. Why would you not take them all the way to the tops and then have way more wiggle room, way more time, and people and their guys are locking in more profits. So SMCI right here is pulling back. That one did hit the top, and that one could turn around. AMD was running up in the after hours. It had that pullback. I was actually surprised AMD did not get into the top. It had that look pull back. It could be absolutely healthy right there and get cruising tomorrow. So it might not be a terrible one right there. AMD could get rolled right back up, and you can see that look right there. It could run off that candle. So that is AMD. Looking at tomorrow. QCOM still looks good and still running up a little bit right there. And how about Intel was pulling back a little bit? It's a little healthy right there. Not too bad. And good old PayPal was running up and looks good to curl up and keep running up there, guys. So keep an eye on that. And here is your snow running back up into the top. It wasn't ready, and they do have earnings coming up tomorrow. So be careful with snow. But holy cow, it does look like it wants to run off of that and go a little higher right there is exactly what it looks like at the moment. Just be careful with the earnings and that snow and Dell been looking good, barely coming down, staying in the top. So I would imagine if these things wanted to really come down, they would have been pulling back a little more today. I guess they don't have to, but that's what I would imagine. Palantir did pull back, but it came down to that trend line. So we'll see what it wants to do. And good old Sophie also pulled back to the trend line. So we'll see what them two want to do here. And how about Mara? Just kind of setting up right here, guys. And it's been in a setup period, but now you're going to see these things. They were in and look at it. It wasn't a bearish trend there for a while. And now you're about to see that bullish trend start rocking and rolling there with Mara. And I'll show you one that we picked it out with, guys. And this is you guys can all pat yourselves on the back, walk around, tell everyone you did it, because look at that OCGN, guys, from back here, called that thing coming down, called the bottoms, and bam, smashed it up, saying that trend. Remember, I was saying this, that the trend, it was going to get it was going to start going up there, and it was going to have a bullish trend. Well, you don't get any more bullish trend than that, guys. So there you go. I mean, that's exactly what them other ones are looking like. So you can see, we can see them early, a good 3 months early. Sometimes they jump out at me, and I can just spot it if it shows me. I can tell exactly what's happening. And again, it's just pattern recognition. I think from over 20 years, they just do certain things. I mean, it's kind of bizarre, but I just believe the patterns really in the charts just tell you exactly what's going to happen. I think we all know that's exactly how it works. We are always early before the news, and whatever this news is, it doesn't matter because we knew it was happening back here. So, Yeah, they had their they were doing something, I forget. We talked about it. But anyway, that was a good one. And again, Marin Riot, you can see that's what they were setting up. Look at that thing. It was going it was going down. Now you're about to see these things start curling back up in a bullish way. So yeah, you're going to see that rocking and rolling. Clean Spark wants to get moving that way as well. And here is Micro Strategy for you guys, was up a little bit and does look like it wants to like curl back up hardcore right there. It does look like it could go either way. I'm not going to lie, but it just guys that look like it's not ready. You can see touching that 20 and wants to jump up. I would say it wants to go up right there. And let's look at Coinbase right here. It was down a little, nothing real crazy. It was in the top. We'll see if it wants to reverse back around. And Robinhood right here, running up still in the top right there. And what was that eToro doing? eToro, that's what it was. And that thing all the way dipped down, and this thing could get moving. I don't know if it's going to get really cruising there. I'd have to look at it. It looks like it's trying to get there, but we'd have to see it tomorrow, see what it wants to do right there. How about DJT? Down a little bit right there. And let's see, it was pulling back. It does look like DJT could pull back a little bit for sure right there. And Fun, let's see, that one was trying to get set up, but it looks like it is pulling back. It was trying to pull back yesterday, now that I remember. And it was trying to curl. I think Fun is going to get kind of fun again, guys. I think that is going to roll right back off the MACD and start cruising again. So we'll keep our eye on Fun as we usually do. And that mountain right here was down and not a big deal. McDonald's right there was down. Someone asked about this one, sitting on a trend line right there, and an interesting one. It does look like it could run back up right there off of that trend line. So, and it doesn't look terrible right there. So McDonald's could pop up a little bit. Let's see what else is Boeing. We looked at was running up a little bit more. It looks like it's going to keep that momentum. And Space right here was coming back down, but it had that huge run up there, pulling back. IBM was pulling back, and this one, another one, got over these trend lines up towards the top, and it looks like a little health. I mean, that thing got over the trend lines and a little healthy pullback right there. Can't imagine it's going to pull all the way back, come through, and not show itself in the top right there. I mean, that's what I would assume. Disney. So look at this thing still in the top, trying to roll up even higher. So I believe they're trying to get these things cranking up as high as they can, and then we'll see a really nice dip. And last time we saw a really good dip, it was a great opportunity. So we're going to be prepared for it. That's why I keep telling you guys. But I don't think they're ready just yet. Here's that Oxy. It was running up yesterday a little bit, pulling back, but it does look like it might be set, like running back to set up. And your ExxonMobil sitting on your trend line right there. And that one's going to be getting set up. They're just not ready just yet right there. You can see it going to pull back. Maybe it'll roll off. I'll look at it. And Nike right here. That one's not looking bad, trying to crawl back up. Oh, 2Ks. Nike right there. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. And DXYZ, that one is just kind of pulling back a hair. Nothing real crazy there. And let's see DXYZ. Yeah, nothing really that bad. It had been running up. And again, these things, a lot of these were in bearish trends coming down. They look like they're going to start getting in the bullish trends, guys. So it looks like that. And obviously, your Mag 7 is going to be pulling back there. So we do know that. But I do think our SPY and everything is going to try to get back into the tops and try to run as high as they can. So that's what it looks like at the moment. And there's your big caps, your everything else. Let's look at our crypto. I'll just hop on real quick. You guys can look at it right there. But yeah, 106 right there. Solana's at 167, 168 over here. Ethereum's at 25, 27. That's on. And Ripple 234 exactly there. Doge is at coming up, but yeah, they're all exactly right there, 22 cents. And Cardano's at 74. So there you go. They're pretty accurate. And I do like to just look to get an idea to make sure, because these things jump around so much that it's you look at crypto prices, they're in the same ballpark, but they are all different, like a little bit all like different. I'll tell you that. They're usually not exactly the same. Let's put it that way. But these are really, really accurate. Yeah, that's like right there. 106,435, 106,406. So very accurate, and it's trying to run back into the top again, Bitcoin. But again, guys, when they get in the top, you know what's going to happen to them. And here's your Ethereum and another one. It was already in the top. It looks like it was kind of running back up, trying to bounce down a little bit. And they just have that last little like run up to the top, come back down, and get really cruising kind of look. Maybe they try to base out, and I'm telling you, that's why I thought Bitcoin was trying to make that base around 100,000. Remember, I was saying that, and it basically tried to do it at 103, which is beautiful. So that is a really good thing, pretty strong right there. So you can't say that they're going to really get crushed, but they could pull back. Oh, excuse me. And so yeah, they could definitely pull back here, as they've obviously been to the top, and they're pulling back a little bit, but they're making really nice bases. So that is what they look like. And I'll tell you what, that ETF does look like it's trying that based out for the most part down there at that 4 or 5. It got a little lower, obviously, but it did look pretty good just a little bit ago. Let me see where it's at. If it's still there, 4 4, so it's right around there. And let's see. Yeah, it's not looking real bad right there. As long as it stays up in that 4 5, 4 6, and gets moving upward a little bit, it'll actually be cruising in the right direction. And like I said, I think these things are all getting set up. Something crazy is going to be going on, and obviously Bitcoin's at like almost 107,000, so it's clearly had been crazy. And there you go with your crypto report and ETF 500. Like I said, not looking bad. Let's see what's going on here. Man, I guess I'm getting tired. Anyway, here we go. Bloom's BLMZ. This one was moving. We looked at it this morning at HCTI. We were looking at tonight. And let's just see if anything grabs our attention. These QBTS, like I said, watch that thing for tomorrow again for some momentum in IXHL. That thing was trying to crawl back up. A bunch that we opened that, or a bunch that we opened, a bunch that we looked at, an open door right here is just bouncing around. There's your green lane. What's this guy doing? That looks like it's trying to roll up there. TNMG. Not familiar with it, but it looks really good right there. Whatever the hell it is. TNMG looking pretty good. So you might want to keep an eye on that in the morning. TNMG, guys, keep an eye on that laptop traveling 4 a.m. crew right there. There's your NRXS and edible and RGTI getting set up right there for sure. And then there's that NCNA. It did pull back a little bit, but let's look at it right here and see if it's getting ready. It's still trying to crawl up, so, but it does pull back as it crawls up, but it is getting ready pretty soon, it appears. So keep an eye on that NCNA. And let's see what else is going on this page right here. There's your MLGO right there, and good old Mullen DGLY, and anything else. Palantir Rivian we looked at. Good old Ford. Remember, we looked at it way down here at the 9. Now you're at 1072, not looking bad. There's our logic mark. I'll go over that in the morning, see if that's going to get moving. And this one, SPXS, did we look at this at all? I don't even remember this. Oh, that's the Dowie Bear 500. So here you go. This one I was going to say is getting set up, guys. And there's your Dowie Bear. And this is exactly what you want to be looking at. And just like your VIX and stuff, doesn't look like it's exactly ready, but it's rolling off that bottom right there. And it doesn't look too bad. So I'm saying that that dip is coming, and we'll be watching this thing. It could get to take that one last bounce. As you can see, it gets a little bit closer to the line and bounces down, and the next one it'll do it, and it'll be fairly quick. It won't be too far away. So that is what we're looking at, and that is your opposite of your SPY right there. So that is a good one to keep an eye on, SPXS, because it is getting set up in that Novia we looked at last night, and it looks like it was running up today. As a matter of fact, I forgot about it, but there you go. Novia, EYEN. and that did run up there today some more. So there you go with that. And Wolf, I think they declared bankruptcy or something. Wolf Speed right there. I had that ran that one up pretty well, and then I think that they ready for bankruptcy right there. Financial crisis at Wolf. So I don't know what happened to them, but it wasn't looking bad right here as it ran up for us, and then they got bankrupt, I guess. So there you go for Wolf Speed. I guess they're not gonna have any more Wolf Speed. And Terra Wolf right here still doesn't even look that bad. So that one's another Wolf, WULF. And let's see if anything else looks intel right there. Let's jump to the other side, see if we see anything over here. And there's your NRXS. That was a good one, huh? And let's see, let me hop onto the chart section and see edible BAI. I don't know what that is. It's a ETF right there. And let's see, there's your Novia right there, THRO. And QIPT, that looks like a medical distribution. That's already running up there, but might have a little momentum. And how about Info? That's an ETF, and that one's a little weird. And a lot of ETFs right there going on. Let's see what's happening. Nothing really catching my attention, that's for sure. And there's that SYTA, and that could keep its momentum in the morning, so keep an eye on that. And let's see what else. If I see anything else that grabs my attention, not at the moment. No, I don't think I do. Let me go through the list and or the messages and see what you guys want to see real quick, and then we'll call it a good night, I would say. But here we go, Barbara XHLD. Let's see what that's doing right here, XHLD. And that one is trying to make a little base and curl up. Let me take let me X out of these guys real quick. XHLD, let's see. XHLD. It is trying to curl. It almost has a mixed look right there, Barb. And 10 holdings. So remind me in the morning, but it does look like it is trying to get that curl up right there. So I could see it rolling up, and you can see that green candle. It appears that it's trying to. I'll keep an eye on that one in the morning. That one doesn't look too bad. And how about cassava sciences? SAVA. And here we go. That one is cruising up. I think we just looked at this the other day because I remember I say all the time this thing ran like a maniac one time. And I would look at it. It does look like it's trying to run up a little bit more there. So watch that thing in the morning because Sava looks like it has some momentum. So keep an eye on SAVA right there. Not looking bad, I must say. Good one right there, Barbara. And let's see what else you had on there. Wang and Lee. Let's see what they're up to. Again, I couldn't even start a position, and it's starting to run up there and not looking bad for Wang and Lee, I must say. So let's see. Yeah, it's not looking bad. A little bit flat. It looked like it, and it did spike up the other day a little bit, but it's just kind of cruising around there, and it's trying to get set back up. Not sure what's going on. XLO right here. This one recently ran up pretty big, and it does look like it's trying to curl back up again. And we do love when they run up, pull back, and then curl back up. And I would say XLO is not looking bad. How about that click right here? That's another one that ran way up for us, and we were all over that one. And that one looks like it could be clicking again. So keep an eye on that. I do like that click right there. CLIK looking good for that one. And even that XLO not looking bad as well. And how about Devs? I think that was pulling back today, if I remember correctly. And it was pulling back there, 9 cents. Let's see. And it is pulling back. And let's see what it's up to right here. Yeah, let that pull back a hair. I did notice that one. ABP right here. AbPro Holdings. And that one is just in that channel. Let me take a better look at it. ABP. Yeah, it's just in that channel. I think that click is looking good, and Sava and that XLO is looking pretty good right there too, Barbara. So some really good ones on there. And no problem. Oh, congratulations on 1 year anniversary. Thanks for showing charts and educating us every night. Oh, thank you for tuning in every night, Barbara, and always posting great ones. And let me see what else is going on over here. And let's see if I missed anything. Let me see what you guys. BDSX. I knew there was one that I was trying to find there, and that's exactly what it was. Biodesix. Desics or something, and it's just kind of pulling back. It's still in a little bit of a bearish spot, but maybe it's not. What did it say? It run up? Oh, it ran up like 110%. No, I was off on that. I don't even know why that run up. It had to have done something. It has to be doing something here to run up from that spot like that to run. I mean, it bounced off the bottom, but to run up like that's pretty wild, I must say. BDSX, I guess keep your eye on that one in the morning. But yeah, I wouldn't have seen that one. Like I said, I would have said, bouncing off the bottom, I would have never thought it was going over 110% right there like that. Renew your faith. So you keep an eye on that bad boy for sure. It might have some momentum in the morning, guys. So keep your eye on that. BDSX right there, cruising along. And let me see what else I missed because there were some other messages over here. Mr. Drawdown said he increased his position on IOTR, which we've been looking at that IO3, and it is still in the basement right here. The 20s are coming down more. Could have a little more pullback. Nothing real crazy right there. That's not it. It's IOTR, and that looks like it's better. So yeah, it's just kind of cruising along at that basement, and it will get set up for sure. Locked in some profits on ALLR. That one did pop up there and looking pretty good, and could curl. Like I said, we'll look at it tomorrow, see if it can get moving through there. But always a good idea to take your profits. And added some new positions in TMDE, and we've been looking at that energy one, and that thing was moving around a little bit. And Foxo, we've looked at this one recently. What are they up to? That one's actually looking pretty good. I like that. Foxo looking pretty good at the moment. Oh, not Fox, Foxo. Fox wasn't looking bad, but Foxo looks pretty good too. Let's look at Foxo or Fox. I don't even know what the heck that is. Not Fix. We need to fix a Fox here. I'll get back to Fox. What the heck is this Fox Corporation? That looks pretty. Oh, it's Fox. That's what it is. It's Fox, the TV network. But yeah, that looks pretty good right there to bounce into that top right there. So Fox could run up a little bit more. And Foxo and MYSZ. Let's see what that one's doing. My size right here. And you're right, that one is trying to curl up and get moving there. So keep an eye on MYSZ. Let's see what it's doing. SZ right there. And yeah, that's not looking bad. We'll see if it can get through that MACD. If it gets through there, it's running right there. And that is what you're looking at. And the SPY pull back to 560 and QQQ. Let's look at it. And it's they will pull back for sure. Don't get me wrong. They'll be pulling back. It's just a matter if it's tomorrow, or I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. But we'll see if it gives us any indication that they're ready to pull back yet. So there you go with that. And let's see what else is going on. Boom. Let's see. Oh yeah, that RLMD right there. Deep Soul Diving talked about Relmada Therapeutics, and that looks really good, guys. Keep an eye on that bad boy. It looks like it ran way up in the after hours. It sure did. But I would say it's probably going to keep that momentum in the morning, so you can keep an eye on that bad boy. And let's see what else is going on. WRD, Sam, how is that one looking? Is that We Ride? There you go, We Ride. And let's look at it. It is trying to curl back up at the moment. We'll see. Yeah, that one's a tough one down there. I'd have to look at We Ride tomorrow. And I know Ben was playing that one. We've looked at it a bunch of times, so I'll take a look at that one tomorrow. And MLGO, and we talked about that. FFAI does need to make a big move right here. We'll see if it can get cruising right along that. And let's see what else is going on. Chinese stocks, KIDZ is a dilution problem that needs cash. Oh yeah, they absolutely can, but we just look for the little setups right here, and obviously it curled up before, and we'll see if it does try to get set up again, that KIDZ, and we'll see. We're talking about MST, and Mr. Drawdown said that's not bad for dividends at 33.5 cents. And let's look at plug real quick and see if it's trying to plug away. It was still moving. I did see it today. I thought it was up, and yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Looks like it pulled back a little in the after hours. Let me see. Not looking bad on plug. So yeah, keep an eye on that plug power. We pretty much said that was the bottom right there, and it is not looking bad. And let's see what else is going on. And the pigs get fat and the hogs get slaughtered for sure. And we did look at that WLGS, and I can't tell what it's doing at the moment either, Wang and Lee. It's just kind of hanging out. It was trying to curl up there. It was up a little bit. It looks like it's trying to curl up. Your 20s trying to move up right there. But then over here, it just kind of went a little bit flat. So I'm not exactly sure, but I'll look at that in the morning. Good old Wang and Lee. And let's see, everything will run up before Thursday, then pull back. Rotation to penny stocks follows. I agree. And let's see, Doge Mama LNRS. Let's see if that's space related. I don't even know what that is, but we'll look at it. What is it? Is you thinking of lunar? What is lunar? Not that one. LUNR. Maybe LN. I'm not sure. I'll look and see if that one is a small cap or a one of these. No, and I'm not sure which one that is. Doge Mama LNRS. Let me know what that is. And Mr. Drawdown just said anal. I'm not sure why, but he definitely did. And CDT we did look at. I remember it was splitting and did not look bad for the to look at after the split today. So you keep an eye on CDT right here, Conduit Pharmaceuticals. And look at that, not looking too bad off of that split right there. And let's see. Mr. Drawdown does not like crypto. I love it. And PED, let's see what that's doing. Mr. Michael Anthony right there. PED is that Pedivico company. It did hit that resistance up here. It did pull back. It is trying to set back up to try to run up. Let me take a better look. PED. Yeah, it is getting set up right there, I'd have to say. It will try to push down to this resistance at 68 again, and eventually it'll push through in the next few days or probably next week. Right there. So that is what that one looks like. And you said the PE is 3.26 and is an oil and natural gas with no debt, with a book value of $1.35, another upgrade to $1.50. And so there you go, Pedivico. And Michael Anthony does like that. And TTD, let's see, that's the pick of the day for laptop travel right here. And it's not looking bad to continue its way up right there into the top. It is not looking bad. There's a couple good ones right here, I have to say. That TNMG was looking pretty good to try to run up some more. Let's see real quick. Couple good ones. TNMG. What is it? Something like that. Yeah, this guy, watch this one in the morning, guys. It was running up today, and that one could continue that momentum. I think that Sava has potential tomorrow as well to continue its way up into the top. So keep an eye on Sava right there. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see. Bitcoin is the future of money. And let's see. Let's go and see. Hope Bitcoin ain't gonna see $100 anytime soon, Mr. Drawdown. As much as you don't like it, it is definitely gonna be sticking around, and it's gonna be crazy. I can promise you that. And so yeah, I mean, just that 82,000 or 84 like a couple weeks ago, I said it was getting ready to rock and roll. You're at $106,000, dude. It's completely insane. And Solana, Ethereum, they'll all be rolling. The meme coins, they'll get cruising. You'll see alt season. It'll all get cruising, guys. It's just taking its time. I'm not worried. And let's see, BDSX. We did look at that one. I forget what it was doing, Omar, but I know we looked at it. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it was kind of just pulling back right there. I do remember. And fundamentals are the results of the charts. Absolutely. Digital is also isn't accessible to everyone. Oh, sure it is. The digital cryptocurrency, they use it in countries that don't even have currency now. So yeah, that's like almost you got to remember, like every country, every third world country has an iPhone. They get them cheap, and for some reason we don't. They do, but they make them there too. And anyway, yeah, they all have access to that stuff, cryptocurrencies and stuff. It just depends on what communist country it is. If it's China, if they're allowed to do it in certain areas and things of that nature. But yeah, they all have access to it. That's for sure. And let's see, Foxo earnings 45% increase right there. Who said that? Mr. Drawdown. I'm not even sure when their earnings are, to be honest with you, but oh, they were today, huh? They had earnings. I'm telling you, it does look pretty good. That Foxo not looking bad. Um, Let's see, a bunch of us hitting it tomorrow. I guess he's talking about that. Oh, he's talking about KY jelly remarks. What the hell one was I even talking about? I don't even remember. Oh, KWE. I said KY. I was like, what am I even talking about? KWE, this one right here. This one's getting lubed up though, isn't it? It's getting lubed up and coming down right there. KWE, but it is getting set up, I must say. So it must have some something in the works for its KWE or KY. I couldn't even remember what it was now. But there you go. And let's see what's going on. Let's see. I think we got everything right there. You guys were talking about all kinds of cool stuff. And let me see if I got everything over here. And let's take a look. And I think I did. I don't see anything else, not that I notice anyway. And again, honestly, guys, I really don't. You don't get this. You don't see all the messages anymore. They just get lost in all the spam and stuff. It doesn't even show you all the notifications. It's bizarre on X. So if I miss something, I'm not meaning to miss it. Trust me, I'm not ignoring anyone. I just probably don't even see it. So and that's why I say that Discord's way better. You can easily communicate with people, see everything. There's no spam, and there's a lot of good content in there. So again, if you are interested, let me know, and you can click on the on my link tree links, and you can see what the pricing is. And I did see a few people sign up there, so appreciate it. And like I said, I think it will be very valuable to everybody. There is a hockey game on. It's game one of Florida and Carolina, and Florida's whooping them 5-1. And I think they just like scored off of the face off right there. I don't even know what just happened. Yeah, they did. They did just score off a face off. But anyway, it's 5-1. There's a hockey game on. And there you go. So let's see. I don't know what you guys are even talking about, but he said Mr. Drawdown said 3.2 million from a 7K something. I'm not even sure. But anyway, there you go with all that. And we run through that. Let me see if I'm missing anything over here real quick. Let me just take a quick look. A bunch of crypto. QBTS, we looked at it, and that Archer, we ended up looking at it earlier just because we were going through and it was pulling back right there. And that SYTA is way up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And PANW. Oh, yeah, the Palo Alto. What is that? That's pulling back right there. PANW, yeah, that pulled back right there. I guess they had earnings. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Oh, there it is. Again, it's green. It pulls back. When it's red, it goes up. I don't know if the colors are opposite, and I'm not sure if I'm not on that page. But it's bizarre to me all the time. Like I say, I don't play the earnings, but they are very weird to me, I must say. And there you go. I would say that's a pretty solid. Oh, the Foxo earnings you were talking about. Oh, thank you. 45,000 increase. All right, now I see what you're talking about. Thank you very much for filling me in, Mr. Drawdown. Appreciate it, and appreciate all the comments and everybody tuning in, of course. And if you're new, just tuning in, we do this show every night at 9 p.m. We do a show in the morning for pre-market at 7 a.m. So obviously we'll be on at 7 a.m. and we will go through the market. And I think it'll be a pretty big day to see what's going on. I thought that day would have been better today to be able to get a better idea, but I couldn't really tell, and obviously you can see it was very choppy all over the damn place. But I do think that they're trying to run up into the tops there, so we'll see if I'm right tomorrow. And they try to crawl back. It was a little healthy pullback. If not, they're going to be taking a dip, and I don't think it's ready just yet. And again, like I was looking at these futures and stuff, and that VIX, it was more green earlier. It just doesn't look like it's completely ready yet, but you can see it's getting there. So it will be coming along very soon. We will be seeing a nice dip action, and that will happen. So there you go, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Follow along on YouTube, X, and all that good stuff. Any questions, let me know. And again, you can follow on the Discord. Just click on the link tree and you can get there. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Just shoot me a message on X. You know I answer everybody. And if I don't, just hit me up like 2 or 3 times because it gets lost in like some kind of spam or somewhere crazy. X is going to be called like Spam X or something because it's ridiculous anymore. You can't literally find anything or do anything. It's pretty crazy. So there you go with that. And here, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Thanks again, everybody. And thanks, Deep Soul Diving said wonderful review. As always, greatly appreciate it. And like I said, I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. It makes me want to come on every day. And I love doing the show. It's so much fun. And it's obviously some good cognitive therapy for my brain injury. But I just enjoy hanging out with you guys and doing it. And like I said, we're gonna make that Discord huge and really just make an account like jump big time, but also help you guys make your accounts really, really grow. So if you've been struggling with that aspect, I think this show has just constantly grown and we've gotten the charts down and talking about mindset, everything. I think it's just a natural progression now to just take to take everybody's accounts and watch them all fly up there and everybody just have a great time, reap the benefits and put everything basically together. We've been doing it for a year, kind of discussed everything. Now it's time to put it together, make it all work, and watch everything grow. And it's a perfect time. Like I said, the markets, we can play them any which way. We always know what it's going to do. So now let's just take that knowledge and really put it together on trading and really trade smart. Focus on that just as much as the charts and stuff. And I think that if we did that together, everybody would be very excited and it would be good. So that is my mindset in it. And actually today I just decided I have like 3 sheds. I told you I had a big landscaping and construction company, guys. It was pretty. I still have a dump truck in my driveway and all kinds of stuff, equipment out the ass. It's crazy. But anyway, I was out there today and I'm telling you, I do everything down in my basement. I built my little studio down here. So I just hang out down here. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just, you got to make it kind of dark to do the lighting right and everything. And then today I was down here all day looking at these charts and I've been down and I just think, I'm like, I need sunlight. So I went outside and I said, you know what I'm doing? I'm taking my smaller shed and I'm going to convert it into an outside office. So I think this weekend I already called a couple buddies and said, yeah, I got a project for this weekend. I hope you guys ain't busy for Memorial Day weekend. And I'm going to need a hand. So yeah, I'm going to gut a shed, like take everything out of it, then gut the entire thing and rebuild it. The framing of it's perfect. It just needs all new, like it needs a new roof and walls and everything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna build myself an outdoor office out there, and that way I can get some sunlight. And I honestly think I need the sunlight with my brain. I think it works way better for me. And just being in down here, I don't think I can think as clear down here. Like I do fine with the show, but then when I'm on it trying to trade all day, it's like I just go into a fog. And I think it's this, the lighting and stuff. So Mr. Drawdown said I trade on a toilet. There you go. I have a mobile app, but I do like my charts and everything. So I do like to sit there and I like to trade on the obviously I've used E-Trade and all the time and I have a Merrill account as well. And I've used TD Ameritrade before. I forget what the hell it's called right now. But anyway, going to do the Webull, so I probably will be trading a little bit more on there. But again, I just like to I'm on it all day. I look at these charts and stuff nonstop, monitoring the market. And obviously, you got to take a couple breaks here and there. But I stay focused on it pretty much. I mean, that's how you make your money if you're looking at this thing and you know what the markets are going to do, like we always do. And you trade your gut feelings there and you're confident in it. You can see what you can do. Schwab, that's it. Thank you very much. That's what TD Ameritrade is. It's Schwab now. So yeah, I've traded all them, but the Webull's a whole nother level, and even Robinhood's kind of crazy, but Webull at 4 a.m. and everything else it does. So I am definitely going to get into that. But yeah, I'm going to be just building an office out there. I'll run the electric and all that good jazz, and run the internet cable out there and get all that set up. So I'll be doing that project. But yeah, I think it'll be way better. I'm not gonna lie, even in the winter time and everything. I just need that day. I need the sunlight. I'm telling you, it'll make a huge difference, I think. So there you go. Just letting you know what I'm up to, and always trying to do something. But yeah, I think it'll better everything, to be honest. I just, like I said, I it just throws me off down here. And today was like the last day. I was just like, I just can't be down there all the time anymore. I think just being down here all winter long, and then all the time, all these hours in this, like, it's not dark, but it's like I got the lighting set so it looks decent for shooting videos, and it's not just ideal, especially for my brain injury. So I was walked outside and I looked at that shed and I'm like, that's becoming an office. And that was that. So I get my mind set on something. You can see how I am. So yeah, I called a couple buddies and we'll try to knock that out this weekend, obviously. And so yeah, hopefully I'll be trading outside now. That'll be so awesome. And I think it'll make my brain work better and more clear. To be completely honest with you, that's why I really want to do it. I think I could think more clearly, and we can really focus a lot better. So just taking some extra steps to make it even better. And that's why, like I said, I was doing a few other things there, and I knew I was talking to Ben. But yeah, my idea for the Discord is let's grow people's accounts and really make people, your accounts grow so that's something that you can see happening, and it's exciting. So there you go, everybody. And that is our good old market review right there for tonight. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll be back at 7 a.m. So be sure to tune in to see what the pre-market's up to. And we'll go through everything. We'll check out the SPY, Apple, and all them guys. See if they do want to crawl up tomorrow. And if they do, I'm telling you, they're getting into the top. We'll have that little run happen. And then get ready for the pullback. So you don't want to get too aggressive, but you just want to catch the tail end of the run up. And I do think they do want to run up a little bit more. So we'll be keeping our eye on things and obviously know what the market wants to do tomorrow morning. So thanks again. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Follow along X and YouTube if you're not already. Have a great night, everybody. And I will catch you guys at 7 a.m. So have a good night, and I'll see you guys in the morning.